Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to a massive video. We're going to go through every Premier League club's biggest signing of the summer transfer window and actually contrast and compare which has done well and which have dropped stinkers 1st to 20th, and we're going to go in reverse alphabetical order, aren't we, Dan?
Oh my goodness, you've thrown me there. Well, let's start with Wolverhampton Wanderers, a Brazilian international called Matheus Cunha there with a good resume. He's been at Leipzig, Hertha Berlin and Atletico Madrid. Wherever he's been, he's never been prolific. He cost 50 million euros. How's he done?
He's done all right, considering we both said he'd flop.
I know.
There was a big price tag, and going to Wolves, they don't score enough goals. Did he answer that problem? Well, let's base it off his stats. He's got 2 goals at Forest away in the Cup and in the Premier League. And he also got an assist against Manchester City at home, which helped them win 2-1. You remember that game. And he did contribute.
Now, he's missed a couple of big chances, but we'll let him off because he's not been a flop. I think overall, 8th place.
I've got him 10th, which is bang mid-table. It's better than what I expected, but he's not like he shot the lights out.
West Ham United, it has to be Mohamed Kudus, doesn't
Yes.
it, Theo? He cost 43 million euros, the Ghanaian international from Ajax. And at Ajax, he got a contribution every other game. But how is he doing in a West Ham shirt?
Well, when he signed the contract, he went out to an international break in the previous week, and he went and scored a beautiful free kick. West Ham fans very excited, but until this day, he still hasn't started. David Moyes has not got belief in him just yet.
That is weird, though, because in the Europa League, he's got 4 goals already. 3
That's
of them
amazing.
were in qualification, I believe, and 1 in the actual competition. He's only got 1 goal in the Premier League, but I think he's done all right.
Well, that was their most recent fixture, wasn't it, Dad? Or the last couple. Newcastle at home, where he got the 2-2 draw. Of course, they went on to bottle that game, but when given a chance, he has performed. Out of the 20, I put him 11th, but he can definitely build on it.
This is a player I want to see a lot more of, Theo. It's a very good marquee signing. I'm putting him 6th. Tottenham Hotspur, it's Brennan Johnson, not James Maddison, Theo, because Brennan cost 55 million euros from Nottingham Forest. If you look at his record at Forest, he was good in the First Division, he was good in the Championship, in the Premier League, contribution every 4th game, but he's not really doing it at Spurs.
Well, if we were ranking James Maddison, it would probably be a very different story right now. But for Brennan, he has actually been given a chance from Ange. 4 starts, 5 games, 0 goals and 0 assists. Has he been a flop, Thogdad?
He's not been great so far. We know he's a good player. We saw that for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
But he's missed 3 big chances.
He has.
22 years old. I'm going to give him time.
Brennan, right now, you're an 18th out of the 20 players, but it hasn't helped that you haven't got any contributions and you've been injured, so it's pretty unlucky.
17th place. Sheffield United, it has to be Cameron Archer, Theo. Came from Aston Villa for 22 million euros, and he was brilliant, actually, for the England under-21s. How's he done so far?
He had that really good game against Everton where he scored the goal and caused the Jordan Pickford own goal as well, which got them a 2-2 draw, an important point, and actually one of the only points they've got in this Premier League season with Sheffield United. It's tough. Is it right? He's got a 0.34 XG throughout the whole season.
You've stolen my thunder, Theo, because when you're playing for Sheffield United, you're not going to have that many chances. So XG 0.34, 1 goal so
That
far.
in a whole 8-game week period in the Premier League as a forward is a disgrace, and it shows you how tough it is to be a Blades forward.
So overall, I'm going to say 12th place, because I've seen something from this lad. I think he can score a few. I hope he can score 8 to 10 goals this
Yeah,
season.
his link up with Ollie McBurney up top, I think they can build something, but for now, it's 16th place. I'm sorry, Dad.
You're a harsh man. Ibrahim Sangari at Nottingham Forest, Theo. He cost 35 million quid from PSV Eindhoven. He's an Ivory Coast international.
Yes.
And a DM. How's he doing so far?
Well, he's slid into a midfield 3 with Mangala and Dominguez under a very new Nottingham Forest changing round team, shall we say. And I think he's done quite well. He can score goals. We saw that at PSV, even scored against Rangers just a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, a while back. But remember, there is a real player in him. And Forest are only going to build under Steve Cooper's tactics. So maybe this is a bit unfair, but I've got him in 14th.
To go from the Dutch league to the Premier League is difficult. But I look at his stats and they're all right. He adds something to the Forest team, 13th place. Newcastle United, it has to be Sandro Tonali, who cost 64 million euros from AC Milan. And expectations were very high, Theo, but has he delivered?
Big question. I think Newcastle fans, it would be a mixed answer, because it did come with a big price tag.
He's got 1 goal in 7 games. But the thing is, he's not found his place yet, has he? He's not told the gaffer, I have to be picked every week.
Yeah, to be the best, you need to know your midfield every week, and it seems to be changing.
Yes.
You're going to have to get used to the rotation.
And I think he will come through. I think he's a brilliant signing, but so far the jury is out. 11th place.
11th place?
Yes.
Come on, Dad. He's been good. He's been a good midfielder.
Right, Theo. Expectations were much higher.
I'm going to give him 6th out of 20.
Generous. Manchester United, it has to be Rasmus Højlund, who cost 75 million euros, Theo. That is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
He came from Atalanta, and again, the expectations were very high. Now, admittedly, in the Champions League, he's got 3 goals, but look at his Premier League stats. 5 games played, 4 big chances missed, no goals, no assists. Not good enough.
2 goals written out by VAR. He's been very unlucky. He's walked into an absolute mess at Manchester United. I don't think any player in the world would want to be around that toxicity. We're both watching the Beckham Netflix show. That team was levels above what there is at Man United now. And a striker can only feed off what he gets. I have a feeling this is going to be a great signing. And probably one of the only pieces of businesses they did in the summer, which actually looks at the longevity of Manchester United. I put him 9th place out of 20.
The guy cannot finish his dinner, Theo. When you pay 75 million euros for a player, you expect the finished article. Or when you're buying a young player, no, you expect someone really, really good.
Weeks in.
He's missed 4
He was
big
injured
chances
at the start.
there.
He was injured at the beginning. And 8 game weeks in, he's played like, what, how many Premier League games? Can't even...
Not
and you're
good
judging
enough.
him already.
This guy will not be a Man United legend. Clip that. He will not succeed at Old Trafford. 18th. Manchester City, it has to be Josko Gvardiol. Guard the goal, Theo. 90 million euros from RB Leipzig. Now, we saw him for Croatia at the World Cup. We were impressed. There were rumours about this transfer then. How has he done in a City shirt?
He's been played out position. We have to remember that. That is a factor. He's played mainly at left back. Maybe Pep Guardiola will adapt that formation and go into a back 3 where he'll play left centre back, where we've seen at the Croatia World Cup, that's his position. That's probably where he wants to be. Having said that, he's slotted in really well.
I think for a young lad, he's only 21 years old and he's a centre-back. And the thing about centre-backs is that they mature later. So I think the guy's done great.
I've got him in 4th place, and it wouldn't surprise me if you have him in your top 3.
Theo, to become a regular at Manchester City, you have to be a superb football player.
You do.
And I think this guy is 5th place.
5th place?
5th place.
Okay, very similar to me, we agree.
Luton Town, and it has to be Ryan Giles, Theo. Only cost 6 million euros. He came from Wolverhampton Wanderers, which begs the question, why do you sell to a rival?
I know. Well, we didn't think it'd be a rival at the start of the season. He probably wasn't in Wolves' first team plans, and we know they had a jiggle around at the beginning of the season.
Yes. Now, I spoke to a Luton Town fan this morning. They say this lad is very composed. He's a quality player, but obviously he's young, Theo. And to play as a defender for Luton Town, that's some ask.
It's 17th place as we stand.
Oh, you're a harsh man.
But respect for being the lowest by far of the top transfer budgets that were paid.
6 million euros, which is amazing. And I have put him 14th here. Liverpool now, and it has to be Dominic Szoboszlai, Theo. 70 million euros for the Hungarian international from RB Leipzig. Now, in Austria and in Germany, he absolutely smashed it. How's he doing at Liverpool Football Club?
It's a new role, isn't it, under Jurgen Klopp? He's gone more into the midfield, regularly in a 3 with Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott.
Absolutely, Theo. Now, at RB Leipzig and at Salzburg, his contributions were incredible. One every 2 games. Don't expect that at Liverpool. Don't judge him by that, because I'll tell you what, at Liverpool, everyone's talking about Mo Salah, but Szoboszlai has played every minute of every single game, and that's all you need to know.
Very true.
The manager trusts him.
He does.
The fans love him. His work rate is incredible. He wins the ball back. He's doing all the right things right, making very few errors. I'm putting him in 3rd place. I think he's been a brilliant buy. I think he's going to be an excellent player.
I'm putting him 5th place, but definitely something to build on. Exciting signing that I can speak of very positively.
Fulham now, and Alex Iwobi, the Nigerian international, cost 26 million euros from Everton. We know him from Arsenal before that. And I want to know what you think of this guy, because we've seen him a lot over the past few years. And I don't think he does very much.
He doesn't get enough contributions per 90 minutes. That's a guaranteed fact. And the truth is, I don't think Fulham signed him for more wingers.
Right.
They've got Bobby Reed. They've got Willian playing on the regular. Weird transfer, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm putting him pretty low on this list, Dan.
And I am too, because Iwobi is obviously a talented lad. He's a bit of a hero in Nigeria. He's played over 60 times for his country, but he doesn't make much difference for me. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I'm putting him 15th.
He's playing deeper, so he's not always going to get a contribution, but there are always ways for players to make them the difference. And we're not seeing that at the moment.
Correct.
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put Iwobi in 15th place.
Yeah, we agree. Everton now, and it's Beto, who came in from Udinese for 25 million euros, Theo. The Portuguese lad, how's he doing?
He is doing okay. He scored against Doncaster Rovers in a cup game, one of his earliest fixtures. I think it's unfair to judge him this early. Out of all the players we're talking about, he came in very late at the Everton transfer window. They did play a lot of money for it. He will become good. He comes off the bench a lot, causes an aerial threat. Defenders don't like to face him. And he's probably helped them, given DCL competition, and actually enabled them to have more options going forward.
Well, I tell you what, in Serie A, Theo, he'd get a goal every third game, which is pretty good. He's come into the Premier League 5 games only, so it's a bit harsh to judge him, but that's the nature of the video. 3 missed chances. That's what worried me, because at Everton, Theo, one of those goals might make the difference between survival and relegation.
But I think this transfer will become good. I've currently got him in 13th. But I believe it's going to bounce up.
I hope it comes good, Theo, because if you go to Everton, you've got to show passion. So what you've said there is important. 16th, based upon what we've seen. Crystal Palace, and it's Mateus Franca, Theo. He came in from Flamengo, I believe, for 20 million euros, but he's not played yet, so we can't rank him.
We can't. Apparently, there's been a few articles saying he's about to come into the team, so exciting times for Crystal Palace fans. I've heard some big comparisons. The Flamengo wonder kid. He's a forward. He's actually been named with the likes of Vinny Jr. I think he beat Manchester United. Crystal Palace did the contract. So, look, he's young, lots of potential. They haven't loaned him out. And that is a sign that they want to get him in the first team.
Good luck to them. But for the sake of this video, we've got to say 19th by default.
Yeah, 19th. I've actually got him in 20th.
Yeah, joint 20th.
Yeah, joint 20th.
Chelsea, and it has to be Moses Caicedo. 116 million euros. The second most expensive player we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
Brighton became very rich. Now, Moses Caicedo has played 6 games, won 3 and lost 3. It's been a poor time for the club, but how has he done as an individual?
Well, he begun and gave away a penalty. It wasn't the perfect start for Moses Caicedo, but there was a lot of pressures. Everybody was talking about him. He literally became a meme online.
I agree, Theo. Now, I think they overpaid for him. We all agree on that, but I think he's coming good. I think Chelsea are coming good. And individually, I think he's very consistent. I think he's passing well, he's tackling, he's doing everything he should be doing.
If you want a ball-winning midfielder right now, I don't think in the world there's a better player than Caicedo. Yes, there's a massive price tag, but I'm actually putting him in 8th place.
Theo, he's a good signing, 7th place.
Oh, we agree then. 7th and 8th. Let me know your thoughts.
Bloody Burnley. It's got to be Zeki Amdouni, Theo. 19 million euros from Basel.
James Trafford.
I know, I'm sorry.
I thought it was a record signing.
I know you want to talk about your brother. I'm sorry, but we have to talk about the Swiss international.
Look, Amdouni, people gave him some crazy comparisons when he first signed because he's left-footed and he ran past a few players at FC Basel. He's not going to be a Messi, and he's nowhere near that. What he is hard-working. He scored twice against Forest away, 1 in the Cup, 1 in the Premier League. The problem is, apart from the City ground, he's not found goals anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true, Theo. Now, he's missed a couple of big chances this season, but I'm not going to be too harsh on him because he's looked good. I've seen a couple of games on the telly box. Burnley look all right.
I'm putting him 12th.
And I agree with that to some extent. I'm going 10th place.
10th is very nice. Very kind.
Brighton and Hove Albion, it has to be João Pedro, 34 million euros from Watford. And at Watford, Theo, he performed very well in the Championship. The big question mark for me is, can he do it in the Premier League?
I think he can. De Zerbi rotates, but when he's needed to perform, let's not ignore it. 3 starts, 3 contributions.
Yeah.
2 goals, 1 assist, but he's also doing it in the Europa League.
Yeah.
We've seen important goals at the likes of Marseille away. Good luck. I mean, imagine being 2-1 down to Marseille and having the cojones at 22 years old to take a penalty and score at the Velodrome and go over and celebrate with the Brighton fans. I don't think I'd have the bottle.
Yeah. When you turn on that telly box, when you go to that ground, you want to watch players like João Pedro. For that reason, for what he's done so far in 8 games, 4th place.
4th place?
4th place.
I'm going to go one step further, Thogdad. He is killing it, and João Pedro is my 3rd place. He's made it to my top 3. He's made it.
Little clap for João Pedro.
Big future. So Brighton fans look forward to it.
Nathan Collins came into Brentford for 27 million euros from Wolves. Theo, now how is he doing?
Well, he's young. He's played almost every game. So one thing's for sure, Thomas Frank believes in him. I find it crazy that a 22-year-old centre-back has played for 3 different clubs, all around the Premier League at the time, and all 3 of them paid from 20 million euros to 26 million euros transfer fee. So every summer, somebody else has gone in and thought, let's buy him.
Yeah.
So he's definitely got the statistics off the game, like the numbers that Brentford must have looked at to sign him. it must have been on another level, wavelength.
Yes, and let's admit it, Nathan Collins, one error led to a goal. Now, he's got one assist.
Only 1 in 8 games, come on.
That is true there. Now, he's a big lad. He's very comfortable on the ball. He's going to be a very good player. 22 years old, like we said earlier, centre-backs often peak around the age of 28, 29, 30. So he's young. He's going to learn a lot from Thomas Frank. He's going to learn about body position and about position on the field and about body shape and all of that.
And he's going to learn a lot from experience in the Ireland national team, where he's already a regular at his age. I've got him in a very solid 7th place because he's been a regular.
I'm going to go 9th place. He's got a lot to learn,
9th.
but he's potentially an excellent player. AFC Bournemouth, it's Tyler Adams, cost 27 million euros from Leeds, but again, Theo, it's an injury, isn't it?
He's had a hamstring injury, and we've not seen him play once in the Premier League. I think he had a cup game. He's building his way back, and how important will it be for Areola to have a solid midfielder like him? Because the Bournemouth form hasn't been great.
So important, Theo. I'm a big believer in your DMs. You've got to get the spine of that team right. But so far he's been injured. We wish him a speedy recovery, but we have to say joint bottom.
Yeah, joint bottom, but looking out for him to see how he can help Bournemouth adapt when he gets back in the team.
Aston Villa, and it's that man Moussa Diaby who cost 55 million euros from Bayer Leverkusen.
Correct.
And his stats in the Bundesliga were brilliant. They were a contribution every other game, weren't they?
But Dad, he's continued that into the Premier League with his 2 goals, 3 assists in 8 games.
Yeah.
5 contributions in 8 games for a forward up top with Ollie Watkins, an Aston Villa team which I didn't know which way it would go at the start of the season, but they've blown me out the water.
I mean, you've talked about the 5 contributions. He's also created 5 big chances. So those stats, which are excellent, could be even better.
Yeah.
He's an exciting player. I love watching Villa to watch this player. And by the way, if you do FPL and you've not got him in your team, give your head a wobble.
Yeah, I don't. I'm having a shocker.
Give your head a little wobble.
I know, and he's
honestly.
not even that expensive compared to the players I've got. It's a shocker.
Theo, first place.
What? Is your first?
First place.
I did not expect that. Aston Villa fans love you now. I've got him in 2nd, and I thought I'd be the highest in this video. That's incredible.
And we've only got 1 club left, and you've messed up this video because you've not announced your first place.
Well, it can't be Declan Rice.
So we're just going to have to talk about Declan Rice, who cost 117 million.
The most expensive
euros.
transfer fee of this Premier League video.
Yes.
And probably the most to talk about because he's played all 8 games. Arteta has confidence in him, doesn't he?
Well, he's been a legend at West Ham for about a decade, man and boy, Theo, and he's come into the Arsenal team, and it's like he's been there for years.
Rice just understands the club.
Theo,
he does.
He just understands football,
now.
Theo. And over the last few years, we've seen him get better. We've seen him grow in confidence.
You know,
about moving the ball forward. He's good at tackling. He's good at aerial duels, ground duels, intercepting. He's doing it all well, Theo. And the great thing is, he's English, not Irish.
He's my second. He's my first play. Okay, fine. He's my first play.
Yeah.
There he is.
Who saw that
You
coming?
said Moussa Diaby. I'm guessing he's your second then.
He is my second place.
Okay, so
which is why we did it all reverse, isn't
Moussa
it?
Diaby and Declan Rice, the 2 best in this video. But are we absolute frauds? Let's find out in the comments section. Who do you think has been the best transfer of the big signings in the Premier League? And don't just tell me about the best. What would you like next? What, should we sit down and do this again?
Yeah, let's do something. Let's do the worst players next.
The worst players?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's do a negative one. Let's be nasty, shall we?
Okay, let's find out.
Let's be mean.
10k likes and we'll go through the worst player at every Premier League club. See you tomorrow if we hit it. Bye.